Hey, it's Thursday, time for another Action Figure Adventures video here on SEO Toy Review. Today, Baby Skeletor and I are taking a look at my finds from Amazicon. Amazicon is a multi-day convention held right outside Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. They have a small dealer's room, they have a panel room, they have a lot of cosplay groups. The number of toy vendors was not through the roof or anything like that, but I did find a nice selection of things there. There were some great things, depending on what you were looking for, and I'm going to show off a bunch of the cool things I picked up. The first item I have here did not actually come from Amazicon. My friend Rose, who runs RetroCon, actually found this for me at the flea market. I went with Rose and Tony to this show, and she gave me this in the car. This is an awesome program from the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers live show. It has beautiful photographs inside of the Ranger costumes from that live show. You can kind of tell from this that the actual actors were not involved. They didn't take their helmets off at all. But it is a beautiful, beautiful presentation here. And I really like these kind of live stage show things that used to happen. I mean, they still happen to some degree. Paw Patrol just had one recently. But, you know, the Masters of the Universe, the Ninja Turtles, the Power Rangers, these things were great. I actually really like these photos they have of the bad guy suits. Obviously, Rita's a little different there. Some of them look really fantastic and pretty show accurate. Babu's a little weird here. You know, they actually made the suit cover his face. And then we've got Lumitor, who is not one of the main bad guys. Instead of Finster, I guess with Lord Zed you don't really need Finster, so they gave us a regular standard monster. And there's the Putty Patrollers at the bottom. Now to get on track with the Amazicon finds. I picked up two ToyBiz X-Men figures. I got Pyro and Banshee. Both of these figures I remember when they came out. Both were not figures I had as a kid. The Banshee figure's kind of weak. His little cape piece really limits his articulation. You know, you can put his wings out there to help him fly, but that's really about it. He can't hold any accessories with his hands. He can't move his arms other than to flap them out. He does have a little whistle built into him, which I guess is fun. But even his head sculpt, he just is kind of boring looking. The Pyro figure is much more exciting. He does not have his little flame effects. There were flames that plug in there, obviously, originally, but I don't have them. His arms are linked together, but he just at least looks tough. So I think he's kind of a fun bad guy to have, and he kind of flushes out the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants a little bit. I do need a Toad figure from this line. I picked up a sealed Ninja Turtle bubble bath bottle from my buddy Chris Lamont, one of my favorite vendors at toy shows. I've known him for years. He's basically one of the toy collecting family, and he saw me eyeballing this turtle, and he's like, "That's right up your alley." And I was like, "Yeah, it totally is." I have a whole bunch of these shampoo guys in my bathroom. Now, I kind of don't like collecting them sealed because the saran wrap on the top makes them harder to see. They get a lot of glares on them and things like that. So, in some ways, I'm tempted to open them up, pour out the bubble bath or the shampoo, and just keep them the way it is. But it kills me to open up something that's still sealed from back in the day. So I will continue to display them like this. I already have Michelangelo. Now I have Leonardo. But I have a ton of other ones like Star Wars and Power Rangers and G.I. Joe, He-Man, Care Bears. So that's going in the bathroom. Fisher-Price Adventure People. I got the motorcycle rider guy. He's got his helmet on and his stripes on his pants. Very Evel Knievel-esque. I love the Adventure People. And actually, a YouTube channel I like a lot called The Craftsman. He just did a video where he used a lot of these 5.5 style figures, and he added Lego pegs to them so they could be mixed and matched and customized. And he's got me thinking about grabbing beat-up Adventure People and vintage Star Wars guys for possibly making some wacky homemade figures later. I got two extremely different Lex Luthor figures. I have the business suit Lex Luthor, the tuxedo version, and I have the prison jumpsuit version. These are from two different lines. I think this is Justice League or the Superman series, and this is probably Justice League Unlimited or something like that. Because you can see the animation style change a little bit in his head. But these are both pretty cool figures to have of that big bad guy from Superman. Ah! It's Miss Yvonne from Pee-wee's Playhouse. This is a reseal. You can see the bubble came off. I have a Miss Yvonne. She's actually pretty hard to find, or seemed like she was for a while. I've picked up a carded one because I was trying to get this whole line. The back of the package doesn't show all the characters. It just kind of has that first wave. But I really want to get all these figures, and this one was repackaged or resealed. It was only $10, so I figured that was a great deal. And I'm actually going to rip this open because I want a Miss Yvonne, and buying a loose Miss Yvonne is going to be a real mess with her hair. I've got to mess with her hair here with the reseal. I got her hair glued in a little bit there. Ugh. But styling the hair on these kind of dolls can be a real mess after they've been played with a lot. So I will trim up this just a little bit, try and take care of that. But this way I have a pretty much mint condition Miss Yvonne for my Pee-wee's Playhouse collection. I got the Batman Vampire Pop based on Red Rain. This is Pop Hero 286. I have been making a concerted effort to cut back on my Pop purchases. I feel like I kind of overdone it in the past, but because my childhood best friend's dad created the Vampire Batman, wrote Red Rain, Bloodstorm, and Crimson Mist, I couldn't leave this one behind. Oh man, he's pretty awesome. I love how they have captured some of the features of Kelly Jones's art with those talon-like fingers and the amazing cape, the spine bones kind of poking through the cape. It looks great. They've made the ears very tall, which is a trademark of Kelly Jones also. I really, really am happy with this pop, and I'm so glad that the Vampire Batman series is getting the recognition it deserves. I friggin' loved those comics as a kid, and very excited that they're getting some more Batman Vampire merchandise out there. I picked up the G.I. Joe Alien Lobotomax, still sealed on card. It's not a primo carded figure. The bubble is crunched a little bit down here. It's actually split at the bottom there. But the aliens from Star Brigade are fairly rare figures. I actually bought them back in the mid-2000s when they weren't really popular at all. But I was trying to get all the loose figures. So I actually bought them carded and cut the bubbles off and opened them up. And now they're getting pretty rare, and there's just such a unique figure that I decided, you know what, I'm going to grab this guy and keep him carded just as a cool thing to display from one of the wackiest parts of the G.I. Joe line. I also splurged on some knockoff Lego minifigures. I am a huge fan of Lego. The minifigures are definitely one of the best parts of the whole series, and there are some amazing knockoffs. Licenses that just Lego doesn't have, or licenses Lego will never do. Different characters that maybe aren't included in Lego sets. Sometimes they are pretty much straight-up rip-offs of the Lego figures. But I do really like these guys, and so I picked up a interesting array here. First up, I've got from Star Wars, the Rancor Keeper. The Rancor Keeper is one of my favorite side characters from Star Wars. It's kind of weird. My buddy Brian and I always joke about the reason we like him so much is because he's the only guy in the Star Wars universe that cries. The Rancor Keeper vintage Kenner figure, it was the first and only figure I had for a long time carded from that line. And they did a pretty nice job here with the hood. He's got his little staff and everything. I just think he's cool. The next three I got are G.I. Joe knockoffs. Now, Hasbro has done their own Creo figures, which were Lego-like, but they weren't actually Lego. This Cobra Commander is phenomenal. Check out the vac metal head. I think that's really sweet. Lots of great details tampoed on him. Kind of a shame they didn't do the pistol on his back or include a pistol with him. I think that would have been kind of nice, but really great tampo detail, and the vac metal helmet is awesome. Picked up Snake Eyes version 2, or a facsimile of that. It's, you know, the visor version of Snake Eyes. He does have the Arashikage symbol on his arm there, or something close to it. He's got some pouches on his legs. He comes with an Uzi. He comes with his sword. The only real complaint maybe is no timber, but, you know, what do you want for a knockoff Lego thing? They did have a Mutt and Junkyard one. That one did come with a dog, but I didn't think the execution was that amazing on it. And I picked up Serpentor because Serpentor is pretty cool, and this is, again, phenomenal tampo work, lots of detail on the figure. I do like how they did the cape and headdress, both out of like a fabric-y material. This is like a standard Lego cape. This is a little bit more rigid, and by folding it up, it makes the Cobra hood. He does come with his pet snake or his snake accessory like the vintage figure. I like that a lot. The last one I picked up, and this is a guy I've been eyeballing for a while, I picked up the knockoff Lego Voltron, which is fantastic. Look at how much tampo work is on the legs to make his legs look like the blue and yellow lion. They have special sculpted hands for for the red and green line there. He's got the blazing sword. He's got the helmet. It's phenomenal. Guys, I don't know what you're doing if you're not collecting any of these bootleg things, unless you're a Lego purist and you just can't support these knockoffs for that reason. Otherwise, they're incredible. Thanks for watching this Action Figure Adventures video. Do Baby Skeletor a favor, hit that like and subscribe button.